Stephen King is a household name, revered by readers around the world for his masterful storytelling, vivid imagination, and relentless dedication to the craft of writing. With over 60 novels, hundreds of short stories, and numerous adaptations to his name, King has established himself as a literary icon. But how does a writer take an idea and transform it into a best-selling novel? This video will explore Stephen King's unique journey, his creative process, and the lessons writers can learn from his remarkable career. 1. The beginning of a phenomenon. Stephen King's journey to becoming a best-selling author was not an overnight success. Growing up in Portland, Maine, he faced financial struggles and personal hardships, experiences that later fueled his writing. King's early years were marked by an insatiable love for books, especially horror, fantasy, and science fiction. His passion for storytelling was clear from a young age when he began writing short stories and submitting them to magazines. However, rejections were a constant part of his early journey. King's first major breakthrough came in 1973 when his novel Carrie was published. Interestingly, King initially abandoned the manuscript, but his wife, Tabitha, encouraged him to finish it. Her support became instrumental in King's journey, and Carrie became a bestseller, marking the beginning of his prolific career. This early experience taught him the importance of perseverance, a lesson that has shaped his career. 2. Finding inspiration. Where ideas come from. One of the most common questions Stephen King gets asked is, where do you get your ideas? For King, inspiration is everywhere, in personal experiences, news stories, conversations, and even dreams. King's horror classic, It, for instance, draws on childhood fears and the idea of confronting one's deepest anxieties. In his book on writing, King describes ideas as fossils waiting to be unearthed by the writer. He emphasizes that great ideas don't always come from grand epiphanies, but often from everyday life. Aspiring writers can learn from King's approach to idea generation. Rather than waiting for a big idea, King encourages writers to pay attention to the world around them and allow ideas to form naturally. Writing down snippets, thoughts, and observations can help writers capture moments of inspiration, later transforming them into stories. 3. The writing process. Discipline and routine. For Stephen King, writing is a daily discipline. King writes every day, producing 2,000 words or more, regardless of whether he feels inspired. This routine has been a cornerstone of his success. King often compares writing to any other job. It requires dedication, commitment, and structure. His daily writing practice allows him to complete a draft in a few months, which he then revisits with multiple revisions. King's consistency is a lesson for aspiring writers. While writing may be a creative endeavor, treating it as a job ensures progress. Many writers romanticize the waiting for inspiration mindset, but King's approach demonstrates the power of routine and structure in achieving creative goals. 4. The first draft. Just get it down. King is a firm believer in the power of the first draft. In On Writing, he advises writers to close the door and allow themselves the freedom to write without inhibition. The first draft, for King, is about getting the story down on paper, flaws and all. He believes that editing comes later, once the core of the story is in place. King's first drafts are often raw and unpolished, but he views this stage as essential for capturing the essence of the story. For aspiring writers, King's approach serves as a reminder to prioritize progress over perfection. The fear of producing a spada first draft can hinder creativity, but as King's success shows, it's crucial to get the story out before worrying about fine-tuning it. 5. The revision process, crafting and polishing. Once the first draft is complete, King sets it aside for a period before revisiting it with fresh eyes. This cooling-off period allows him to approach the manuscript with objectivity, making it easier to identify weak points and areas for improvement. King's revision process is meticulous. He cuts out unnecessary words, tightens scenes, and refines dialogue to create a seamless reading experience. King's revisions often involve multiple drafts, where he pays close attention to pacing, character development, and narrative structure. In fact, King often says that "Kill Your Darlings" is one of the best pieces of advice he can give to writers. By removing elements that may be unnecessary or self-indulgent, he creates a tighter, more impactful story. 6. Character development, building relatable and complex characters. One of Stephen King's strengths is his ability to create memorable, three-dimensional characters. From the troubled Carrie White to the chilling Jack Torrance in The Shining, King's characters are relatable, flawed, and deeply human. King often builds his characters based on people he has encountered or observed, adding layers of complexity to their personalities. King believes that character is central to any story, even in genres like horror and fantasy. By developing characters that readers can connect with, King ensures that his stories resonate on an emotional level. His characters' arcs and struggles make his stories more than just tales of horror, they become explorations of human nature. 7. Embracing the themes of fear and the supernatural. King's writing is rooted in his fascination with fear and the supernatural. However, he sees horror as a vehicle for exploring broader themes such as trauma, grief, addiction, and redemption. King's ability to weave these themes into his stories is one reason why his work resonates with readers. Books like Pet Sematary and The Green Mile delve into complex themes, creating stories that go beyond conventional horror. For writers, King's use of horror as a lens to examine the human condition is instructive. He demonstrates that genre fiction can have depth and that horror, in particular, can be a powerful way to explore universal fears and emotions. 8. Staying relevant in a changing market. Stephen King's ability to adapt and remain relevant over decades is a testament to his skill and versatility. He has published in multiple genres, from horror and fantasy to crime and suspense. King has also embraced new formats, such as releasing stories as ebooks, short story collections, and serialized novels. His willingness to experiment has allowed him to reach new audiences and keep his work fresh. King's adaptability is a valuable lesson for writers. The publishing industry is constantly evolving, and writers who are open to exploring new formats and genres have a better chance of sustaining a long and successful career. 9. Collaborations and adaptations. Stephen King's journey includes numerous collaborations with other authors, filmmakers, and musicians. King's adaptability has allowed him to work on screenplays, adapt his novels, and even collaborate with his son, Joe Hill, who is also a well-regarded author. Collaborations allow King to expand his creative reach and introduce his work to different mediums. Film and television adaptations of King's work, such as The Shining, It, and The Shawshank Redemption, have expanded his audience and brought his stories to life in new ways. However, King has been open about the challenges of adaptation, emphasizing that not every story translates seamlessly from page to screen. 10. Overcoming adversity. Throughout his career, King has faced personal struggles, including addiction and a near-fatal accident in 1999 when he was hit by a car. These experiences influenced his work and gave him a renewed perspective on life and writing. Despite these challenges, King continued to write, using his craft as a means of processing and healing. King's resilience is an inspiration for writers, showing that even in the face of adversity, one can continue to create meaningful work. His story demonstrates that the writing journey is not without obstacles, but that persistence and passion can help writers overcome even the toughest challenges. 11. Advice for aspiring writers. In On Writing, King shares practical advice for writers, such as reading widely, writing consistently, and embracing failure as part of the learning process. He emphasizes the importance of originality, advising writers to find their unique voices and not to imitate others. King also stresses the importance of honesty in writing, urging writers to be true to themselves and their experiences. For aspiring writers, King's advice serves as a roadmap for success. He shows that while talent is important, dedication, honesty, and a willingness to learn are equally essential components of a successful writing career. Conclusion. Stephen King's journey from a young boy with a love for books to a best-selling author is both inspiring and instructive. His path is marked by hard work, resilience, and a passion for storytelling that has propelled him to incredible heights. For aspiring writers, King's journey is a reminder that the road to success is often long and challenging, but the rewards are worth the effort. By following King's example, embracing discipline, prioritizing character, exploring universal themes, and staying true to their unique voices, writers can embark on their own journeys from idea to bestseller. Thank you very much for watching. Don't forget to subscribe and see you all in the next video.